Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to touch upon what is database schema and how to design the database schema. Basically, in today's video, you will be totally clear what is a database schema end to end. So that's the point. Now, before we move on to MySQL and we start preparing some code, so I would like to discuss about the concepts of database schema. Now, what is database schema? Obviously, and before database schema, what is schema as a separate word? Okay. So this is known as a logical structure. We can call it a logical structure. Now, what is logical structure? That defines that how inside a database, how the table will look like, how the column will look like, and how the data type will look like, how the relationship will look like. So everything, the look of the table, design of the table, of columns, and relationship of the tables with each other. Relationship of tables. This is also defined by logical structure, which we call schema. Now, one very important thing to note here, like inside database, why we need schema? See, database is a collection of data. It's a simple collection of organized data, which is in tabular format, because we are talking about SQL and SQL is able to handle the tabular data. Now, to define the whole database, the schema concept was introduced so that you don't need to think how I will write, what I will write, how I will define the columns. Everything is independent. Now, this schema not only helps on the table level, it helps to create indexes. So indexes, whether tables, whether columns, whether the relationship of the tables with each other, everything is totally fully covered with the schema of the database. Now, there are so many components, okay, which are very important component to understand the schema. So these are all the component, okay. These are the top 4 component, I would say. Number 1 is table, obviously, then the columns, then indexes, then you have relationship, which we call ER relations also, like entity relationship. Many of you have read it already in your engineering. If you don't know it, so that means the relationship of a table with another table, that is known as a ER relationship. Okay. Now, other than this, like indexes, and then we have one more important thing, views. So this we say number 5. Views are not physical table. View is a light copy of a table. So when you have a table, so let's say this table is a size of 20 MB, but this will have everything like metadata associated with this and the data also associated with this. If you create a view of this table, so you can create within, let's say, 1 MB. And when you click on this, so you need to extract the same data like this. So you can simply do that. So view is basically a good alternate to save the space, because it has all the functionality of a table, and also with the table, it gives you the flexibility to save the space up to a very great level. So this is all about database schema. Now to understand, okay. So there are some type of schema. Obviously, this question can come to your mind. What are the type of schema we have? Okay. So we have physical schema. This is number 1. Then we have logical schema. Then we have conceptual. Now, what is the difference in all these 3 type of schemas? Now, all these 3 have some differences. So when we talk about physical schema, so how the table will be stored, that is defined by this. How table will be stored. So this is taken care by physical schema. Then you have logical schema, that defines the logical structure. It defines the logical structure. For example, I talk about table and the relationship. Like how I will join one table with another table, so that is taken care by the logical schema. Then we have the conceptual schema. So this is a high level design. High level design of overall database. So these are the three type of schema and these are the differences between three of them. Okay. Now let's move forward and open the MySQL Workbench. So this is already open for me. Now simply I will tell you a command how to create a new database. Number one, before creating a schema you need to obviously create a database, right? So how you will create that database? So it's the easiest command, create database. That's all. Now give the name of the database. Let's say you want to create a database with the name of Rajat. Give a semicolon, put enter here. Simply tell the systems that use Rajat now. So system will use this database. Okay. Now when I run this, okay, I ran this, it ran successfully. Now if I click on any of these databases and I click refresh all, so you can see Rajat is there. Now inside Rajat you can see the schema table already. I have not created all these tables. This is the schema. Inside database there is table, views, stored procedure, functions. So all this is defined as schema. Okay. It's very easy, guys. I'm trying to make all the concepts as easy as possible so that you don't have to struggle anywhere. Now, after this schema, let's say I want to insert some tables here. Okay. So I have some code with me, which I'll just quickly paste to save your time, because if I type all those codes, it is going to take so much time. So let me define those codes to create table, which will be empty table, and then we will insert the data into those tables. So guys, all of you can see that this is the schema which I have created, right? So inside this particular database which we created, now this is a table which is a department table. Okay. Now this department table, as of now, I have not given the reference here. So what I'll do, I'll just put Rajat.department. So what this line number 4 to line number 9 it's doing, it's creating the schema. This is the schema which I was talking about. This is the schema of your table. Here if you see, so what I'm giving as a command like create table. So basically I'm creating a table department in this database which is Rajat, and department ID is an integer, but it's an auto increment and a primary key. What does that mean? Like when you are giving an auto increment, so the increment starts from 1. So the first observation is 1, then second is 2, similarly going forward, right? Now second is department name, second column for you. Then that is var which is ultimately character, and the length is 100. Now there is a manager ID, and also I am defining the foreign key here. Manager ID is a foreign key, reference in a different table, which is an imaginary table which is there, let's say in your database. So if I go in the tables, let me show it to you. If you see, so there is an employee table. So what I want to do, I want to create a foreign key which can give me a reference to that table also. Now this is an optional thing which you can do, which you don't want to do, but I wanted to build this concept of foreign key also so that you guys understand that. But also you can remove this part. It's your choice. Now this is a generic schema, but if you want to keep that, that is also okay, because you are giving a reference. But the target is to understand the schema end to end. Now, this will build a blank table. But to put the data inside this table, I will use insert into departments. Again, this Rajat will come before departments. And then department name and manager ID. Because department ID is an auto increment. So it will start from 1, 2, 3, 4 automatically. So there are 2 more columns which I'm giving, and then I'm giving the values that HR is one department. Then you have manager ID 1, then engineering department, sales department, similarly like this. Okay. Now I just need to write select star from this table. What this will do, this will show me the whole data. Now this is the code which if I execute this code, so immediately you will see the table is created inside the database, and then the schema is also there and the data is there in the table. So let's run this piece of code, output. So you can see. So on this basis, I think we are pretty much clear with the schema. On that note, I will conclude today's video, and all of you can basically see this code also in the GitHub. And I hope you like the video. If you like the session, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and make sure you put a comment. Whatever the things you have doubt, I will definitely answer that. So on that note, I will take a leave from all of you. All the best, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.